Okay, so we can start. Are we good to go, Avni?
Sorry?
Are we good to go? Are you
Yeah,
ready?
yeah, sure.
So I'm Yashasvi and I'm honored to welcome you all to this enchanting afternoon and to the episode 17 of Talk Without Constraints, an initiative by Sarkari School. Sarkari School is an initiative of We Citizens Foundation devoted to creating a brighter future for the students in India, especially from marginalized communities. Project Vedna under Sarkari School aims at creating awareness campaigns to reduce school absenteeism or dropouts amongst girls during menstruation in rural areas. Through the active involvement of youth and having conversations in an effort to normalize taboos and stereotypes. Our ambitious speaker for today, Avani Joshi, is currently pursuing Sanskrit in BA in Ferguson College and passionate towards dance. She's open to learn new ideas and gain new experiences. She claims that to bleed isn't any crime, that we don't need to hide it, and it's so appealing to stop changing channels when it's sanitary napkin ad. We can carry pads as comfortably as we carry soaps. Just call the name periods rather than naming it as a friend or MC or code red. Project Vedana aims to create awareness, as I told, about menstruation among the people and reduce school absence. Now, about the event and Talk Without Constraints is a weekly session sorry, that we stream live on YouTube regarding the stories that you can tell us about your own period or any experiences that you can share in the question. Over to Kiran.
So, hi Avni.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm good. So, we would start with some basic questions and then move forward. So, were you aware about periods before you had them the first time? And if yes, then who taught you about it?
No, absolutely not. I want to first thank this Sarkari school that you're giving us this opportunity to speak our heart out on the topic which we never got to spoke around. So in the beginning, should I share my first experience, like how I didn't know about it? Because that was a very, I wasn't of the age where I should like get to know about it. I was really small. I was in fourth standard, and in the summer vacations, I remember I was playing with my brother, and suddenly my mom stopped me. She said me to turn around, and then she took me to a different room, and I was so horrified. Ki, did I hit my brother? Am I getting punishment for something? I didn't know what was happening, and then she explained me. I don't exactly remember what she explained, and to be fair, that is a very hard thing. If a girl is that small and she has already got her periods, I don't know how a mother would explain it. So I was not at the age that I could have understood what is menstruation cycle. So that was the big issue. But I remember her telling me that dirty blood flows out of you, and it happens to every woman. So I was particularly scared ki how is something happening to me? I didn't understand. Or like, should I have a blood test because what dirty blood I am having? Am I unhealthy? Am I going to go to doctor now? I had so many questions, and then I was imagining every woman I know कि इसको भी होता है क्या, इसको भी होता है क्या, in that way. So that was the thing. I wish I was like aware before I got my first periods. And I just remember the point कि my mother had tears in her eyes. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not able to understand it because maybe she knew how painful it would be the next journey, I guess. So that was it. But I didn't know actually.
Yeah, actually, this happened with me also. My actually uncle started crying, and like he had this thing that ki beti badi ho gayi. That's why he was crying. He thought that like she was a small little girl, and they were like distributing sweets. I thought, भाई खुशी की बात थोड़ी ना है, तुम लोग ऐसे क्यों behave कर रहे हो? So yeah, it was a weird experience. I can understand. So the next question is like, are there any myths or stereotypes associated with periods followed at your home, your own home?
Sorry. Yeah. So if I like at my house, I don't exactly know if, because it is very free at my house, I can say. I touch, even keep prasad and all that stuff in front of God. So I never had it from my home exactly. But recently, I'm an co-founder of Opinionate. It is a student platform for public speaking and soft skills. So in that platform, we just had this event of feminism decoded, and we asked few feminists, or particularly women, "Hey, have you faced any myths around menstruation?" So that was the first time I knew that this many myths are followed, and that was a horrifying experience to me, because there was one of my friend who used to sit alone for 5 days in the house. And my mother also had told me कि हमारे टाइम में they used to sit different, and they used to wash and cook by themselves, and no one used to touch them. So that was something I'm aware. But even today, that is followed to one of my close friends. That was a bit shocking to me, and I thought maybe only that family is orthodox. So I didn't that took it that seriously. But when we took this survey, that myths around menstruation, we got to know about so many myths, and they were super weird. They were not even logical. One of them said that if you touch the pickle, it will get spoiled in those 5 days, particularly. I'm like, did I eat the wrong pickle every time now? And then there was another experience that one girl said ki if you go in graveyard, and if you touch a body or something, that spirit would go to hell. I don't know how this is made up now. Even at the religious places, it is a lot followed ki you shouldn't go, and there are like few things, justifications to it ki the energy what God have, we cannot have it on those 5 days. I mean, there is no such scientific explanation to it, but this myths go around like very smoothly. I mean, I haven't heard that many of menstruation conversations as many myths I have heard. So it spreads so easily. I particularly haven't like gone through any one of them, but yeah, I have known a quite few, and they are horrifying.
Yeah. But also, Avni, we have actually heard like many spiritual gurus, or some people says that uh, the women or the girl are being kept for rest because they are suffering from severe pain. So they have given the rest time, but now people have just mixed both the things. Like yeah, so like they don't have to do the household work so that they will get rest. This is the like perfect thing which I relate, and this is the right thing
Yeah,
actually.
even yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Even I have heard this justification ki they are given rest, and which is quite a
rest.
good thing that you're following.
Yeah,
But the thing that comes with this rest is not like untouchability. If we
yeah.
are like
People
from
are not
our place,
taking
that
this thing in the right
yeah,
manner.
exactly. That
Mm.
is the problem
Okay,
here.
fine. Okay, so so Avni, was your school or college infrastructure menstrual friendly?
So basically, if you say about infrastructure, I don't remember it was menstrual friendly, because I remember I was in sixth such standard somewhere, and I had to change my pads, and it had happened in first time in school. I have to go with this, because it at home my mother used to be there to take care of everything. So in the school, what happened was when I had to change, now it was too much. So I went in washroom, but there wasn't any particular even dustbin that where we used to throw. I didn't understand what to do with this thing in my hand now, because I couldn't even carry it to the classroom. So I was very question mark at that time. And even if they were there, I don't know where they were hidden in the whole school, because I can't see it anytime. Not a single dustbin near washroom. So I didn't know, or if even if they had, they would have at least made us aware. And about just not about the infrastructure, but also the behavior. If you say this school and college wasn't that friendly, because I remember my teacher used to not send us to washroom. She it For her it might be logical कि बच्चे झूठ बोल के जाते हैं, but for some girls it might be a serious thing कि they actually need to go, but nah, they didn't send us, so that was one of the issue. So yeah, I can't say it was completely student friendly, that sort of way.
So, you told me this thing, and I remembered one event, like one incident actually. I was too small. I was like in fifth or sixth standard, and what used to happen? I don't like to use school का washroom. मुझे पसंद ही नहीं था. It was like I feel अच्छा नहीं है and all that feeling. So what happened one day? Uh, I went. I just remember in a blurry manner. So I saw drops of bloods over there. Okay, and I was unaware of कि what is like periods क्या होता है मुझे पता ही नहीं था. So मैंने अब मेरी दोस्तों को भी नहीं पता होगा जो मेरे साथ थी. Same mindset, same thinking. So उन्होंने बोला अरे तुझे पता नहीं है अपना स्कूल जो है ना वो यहाँ पे पहले there was one graveyard and उसके ऊपर अपना स्कूल बना हुआ है. So the blood spots are like कि something horrifying is happening कि भाई भूत वगैरह है क्या. और मैंने मम्मी को ये चीज बोली. मैंने बोला मम्मी स्कूल नहीं जाऊंगी मुझे वहां पे डर लगता है. मैं वहां पे उन्होंने बोला कि देयर वर द ब्लड स्पॉट्स और स्कूल जो है वो शमशान भूमि में बांधा गया है तो वहां पे कोई भी हो सकता है. उसके बाद से आई डिडंट वेंट टू वॉशरूम कभी भी नहीं. So it was horrifying. And one more time, like my friend got period. Us time I was knowing this thing, and we have a school. Mein we have a daily register in which if we have to buy, if we have to take a sanitary pad, we have to write her name. So I was so stupid. I told her कि अरे तूने तो वहां पे अपना नाम लिखवा दिया है. अभी कोई अगर if any guy और किसी faculty ने अगर देख लिया तो फिर कैसे होगा. She went there अपना नाम erase करके वो आ गई. So it was quite. This is the thing we don't like. We don't want to reveal. We don't want to tell people कि yeah I am having periods. Yeah, strange thing happens. So moving forward to the next question, Navni. Uh, oh yeah. Are you comfortable discussing menstruation with your family members? And how sensitive or insensitive are the male members of your family when it comes to talking about periods?
Yeah, if you say talking about periods, I don't exactly remember we had any such conversation, like a whole family or especially with my dad and brother. I don't remember because that never happened. But my mother used to give message to my dad if there was something, but it didn't happen like he is speaking about. So that was a behind the scene thing for my father at least, and for my brother that was this weird incident I remember. I actually had a periods problem, so for which I was taking treatment, and I was very curious कि I am taking, my parents know, I know. What about my younger brother? Does he know about it? So I went once and I asked him, "What do you think I'm taking treatment for?" And he said that my mother have told, like our mother have told him कि I was having cough issue and that is why I was taking this treatment. I'm like cough के लिए ये सब. That is fine. I was so confused at that point. Even if he didn't know he was younger, but that was my point. What I had been through without knowing anything, because there after my first experience, that wasn't the end of story completely. I went to school the next monsoon when the school restarted, and I was, so uh, it was too much for me for the first time carrying a pad and roaming around school, because we used to play a lot recess ke time mein, and there was a lot of studies, PT exercises and whatnot. So that was a whole hectic day, right from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it was a lot, tiring for me, but I didn't understand what was happening to me that time. So I was too annoyed at one point, and that is why I wanted to share it with someone. And so I said my that time's best friend ki I have something which none other girls might have right now, but only girls have. And that I spoke in a very code word. And for my surprise, she understood it because we were of the same age. I didn't know okay, how people know about it already. So she said me, she asked me, "Do you have periods?" And I was supposed to hide it from everyone because I was young and my parents had told me not to share right now. In future, when you will grow up, already you will have these conversations among your friends, but not right now. So that was the thing. I did every possible lie to hide it from her. And that happened. So when my brother told me ki why, like when he said ki you have a craft treatment, I was questioning ki why my parents hadn't told him yet, because what I have been through, it is better that everyone knows it before they get. I mean, I have read the statistics ki out of 10 girls, 9 girls at their first periods don't know what menstruation is. So it would be so horrifying for them to go through everything. And that is so better ki if you have these conversations not just with girls but also male members of your family, so that they also would understand what a girl is going through or any menstruator is going through. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we all can relate these things actually, only. So, have you ever missed your like schools due to periods? And if yes, then what's that particular discomfort or fear or the reason that made you do that?
Yeah, not exactly. I haven't missed the school, but I wish there was an option if we could miss the school, because there was no option given to us if you are not well, then stay at home. Not such thing. You have to go and you have to follow your daily routine. So that was the thing. Even if you had some weakness, you didn't understand it. But if you ask about school and why I shouldn't go, I was willing to, I shouldn't go there because the teachers also weren't that comforting. I didn't know if they understood or not about it. They used to not send for washrooms, like I said. So we had to sit the whole day in the same position, and it was too much. Like girls also should, like they weren't able to understand. They used to force us to come and play, and there wasn't any option given to us. Yeah, you can sit that way. So that was quite uncomfortable. I didn't wanted to go to school for that particular reason, not any other. But yeah, I had to go. That was the thing.
So yeah, continuing this question, Avni, like according to you, what can be the possible reasons for absenteeism and dropouts during the menstruation, and also how can we as an individual work for this issue?
Yeah. So if you ask me, I don't think absenteeism would be an issue if it is due to stereotypes and myths. Ki one girl is being uncomfortable because there are so many myths and judgments around, then that is a bad thing. But if that absenteeism is because she is actually not that physically good, ki she is having cramps or maybe the pain she is going through during menstruation, then it is fine that she can stay absent. Like especially recently, Spain had told about the menstruation leave. So I was so jealous of Spanish people. If I am not there, I would have also got dropouts. But now that is not an option. But absenteeism, if it is there due to, if a person is not well, they can do, because pretending is always been a thing. Ki even if you are having periods, you have to pretend and work. I have seen my mothers and aunties who are working the whole day, and even the working women today, they're working their ass off just to do the regular work and do the regular routine, and not accept that they are on the periods, and it is fine to take rest. So that is my point. Absenteeism is fine, but if it comes to myths, it is necessary that the girl should be aware that this is not the thing which should pull us back.
Yes, true. Um, Also, are you always very conscious in public places, like around people while while menstruating? If yes, then what are the reasons?
Yeah, basically, I would be uncomfortable because I don't know, maybe fear of stain. I have it the most of the time because I am fine with anything, but people won't be. And there would be so many people because it happened to me once. I was in school and I didn't know like where there were sanitary napkins in school, and I used to not carry one because I was like it was some fifth standard thing, and I didn't know what to do that time. So I sat for the whole day, the as it is. I didn't complain about it, and in the end, I had my skirt with all the stains, and that was very uncomfortable for me to go, because as soon as I woke up, a girl said me that something is happening to you. And I don't think she was aware of it. Maybe she was also scared seeing me like this, but I did not know what to do. I just carried my bag, which was like so long. I like pulled the length of the bag, and then I went home like this. But there were three girls who spotted me, and there was one of the older girl from my van who like said, took me aside and said me, "Are you having periods?" And still I was like, no, I have to pretend I don't have. So that was the thing. Yeah, that was the very sad experience I had. He, you know, you're not that comfortable around people, even if you have periods or if you have got periods, to ask for something, because people are not that comfortable. I am like completely annoyed if someone comes to me 100 times and uh, tell me the same thing.
Yeah. Till now, I like used to wear dark, like black color jeans or some dark top or kurtas within 5 days. Till now, I follow these things
Not even five
because
days, Karen. We need to wear before 5 days of our date and after 5 days of our date. It's
yeah,
barely
actually,
15 days a month. Like anytime, anywhere, it can happen.
yeah, actually, that's the thing. But I am uh, like ये एक अलग चीज है because मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है कि कभी बाहर like I didn't got periods कभी भी बाहर नहीं. I got the periods at my home and in morning. So I feel very blessed because my sister, like, she always got the periods when she's out, when she's in the school, and she come crying, like, दीदी ऐसा क्यों होता है तेरे साथ ही तू बड़ी है इसलिए ऐसा है क्या रे? She has some another myths with this thing. So yeah. Um, moving on to the next question, Avni. How do you think, like, should young teens take care about their hygienes and diet while menstruating?
All right. So, hygienes, if you say, there is like one thing we can, I can say you, one can take care of their own hygiene if they're only aware. Because if it happens like in fourth and fifth standard, there is no anything, no knowledge of anything what is happening. Like I sat for the whole day once in school. Imagine how unhygienic it was. Now that I realize, but at that time we hadn't had this scope कि we should speak about it, and no one also made us aware. I remember my mother had told me कि when you go in sixth and seventh standard or higher classes, there is a session in the school where they take all the girls and explain what menstruation is. So I was like very much awaiting for that session, when it would come and when I would get to know what is happening to me. But the thing was, this my school never took it. I'm still waiting for that. Will it still take it, or maybe for the future girls? But no, it doesn't take a similar session. So that is a sad thing. When you are unaware about what is exactly menstruation, how would you take care of your hygiene? So that is the first point, that at least a basic sex education or menstruation should be taught to menstruators for upcoming safety of their own.
Yeah, true. Uh, so, how do you think public places like schools, courts, offices, railway stations, airports, etc., can be like truly made menstruation health and hygiene friendly? Like, what can be done?
Yeah, so now that you mentioned, I remember I was on railway station once, and in that washroom, I saw uh, a box where they had sanitary napkins. So I was very surprised to see it. Oh my God, because that was the first sight of me seeing sanitary napkins in public. So that was a very proud moment. Thank God they have that much of knowledge. But then I remembered it is a AC room, and it has 10 rupees to pay on pad. I'm like, oh, so that is it now. Now that I know, because if you go to public places like common washrooms, I haven't seen anyone anytime. Or even if there is an on railway station next, soon after that I went to mall, and I was expecting in mall there would be an sanitary napkin box, but there wasn't exactly. I mean, wow, what is this now? Because in malls you don't have it, at railway stations only in AC room you have. So that was pretty illogical. So one good thing if people are at least recognizing, but it should be kept for at least free of charge or very minimum charge for that thing. Pads are, at least that should be provided easily to people, but that doesn't happen, and that is why in public places there is no option that a girl can turn around and get something that she wants. She have to go home or carry napkins with her every time. So instead of that, if public starts to recognize that this is normal and it provides some facilities towards it, then that would be a great thing, because it is a very natural thing. Like, you keep washrooms, it is necessary that you have to keep sanitary napkins over there. At least that thing we can do.
Yeah. So, how comfortable were you to talk about having periods in front of the boys in your school or maybe your male friends? And do you feel like boys should be educated about menstruation too? And if yes, like what difference it would make?
Yeah, so I don't know if I would be comfortable talking to boys. I would be by myself, but again, they wouldn't be, because when I was small in 8th standard something, I heard one of the very popular boy in school, he was joking about something on. It was a joke on girls that I could recognize, and when I slowly processed it for 5 minutes thinking, I realized it was about menstruation. So at that time, I was like, oh God, they make jokes about it. So I was like, I will keep distance from them. I'm never going to talk with boys about this thing. So if this happens, it is not a thing that you should joke. I mean, how easily even the feminism decoded event we took about from Opinionate, there was this point ki males are very easy to joke around what problems we have. So if this is the solution, if boys are also taught sex education properly, then maybe this thing can be reduced. And like what happened to maybe most of us, you won't get exact knowledge from your family, you won't get exact knowledge from your school. So whom would you turn around to? At least internet, or maybe friends that you know. Friends are the most accessible thing. So if you know it from friends, imagine the boy or the girl is from the same class as you are, and how are you going to get the proper knowledge that you want to? It would be so wrongly fitted in your mind, and you would think that it wasn't even the fault of that popular boy wherever he heard it, of having making jokes about menstruation. It was something that he heard, and that is what we need to stop. If the education is provided by the right hands, it would be a very better scenario ki everyone would care about each other. I mean, if we are not even like comfortable to talk with boys about it, and I was expecting someone should give me chocolate at least, because I saw it in films somewhere. So I was like, koi to chocolate to de deta. But no, that also doesn't happen. So that is how people are actually uncaring about what exactly menstruation is. So maybe we can educate them, and that is the most necessary thing.
Yeah, true. But this thing, like, like Yashasvi, I would also like to ask Yashasvi, Nitya, and Avni, does it like make very difference by eating chocolate in periods? Because I don't feel like very fascinating eating chocolate in periods.
It depends on hormones.
Yeah, मुझे तो बस पानी पूरी दे दो. I can eat pani puri anytime, like in periods and anything. Like if, like hello, yeah. So am I audible, Yashasvi? So this was from my side, and Avani, it was really nice to have a conversation with you. And Yashasvi, you can just take this forward.
Yeah, over to Nitya to conclude the
Yeah.
session.
Yeah. Nitya?
Nitya, you can take the session forward.
Kindly unmute yourself, Nitya. You are muted. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, Nitya.
I think there is some network issue.
I think she has a network issue. No worries, I can take the session forward.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We, this team of Sarkari School and team of Vedna, are so enlightened and delighted that uh, that you are present here to propose this memorable event. And foremost, I thank our guest speaker, Avani, who, despite her busy schedule, has found time for this event. I thank all the distinguished invitees who have joined us through YouTube Live and present here for accepting our invitation. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my co-host, Kiran, for her cooperation in making this event a respondent success. Once again, I would like to thank you all for attending and wish you a great day, Avani and Kiran, and all the attendees. Thank you so much.
Thank
Avni,
you,
you
Avni.
have given us really enlightening series and scenarios in our life. Thank you so much.
So thank you. I'm privileged to propose a vote of thanks
Nitya,
Nitya?
I think you got some network issue. We are good to go. We have done.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, Avni.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Sarkari School.
Thank you.